Oh, hello everybody. Just pruning this shrub whilst being extra careful because I'm doing it on a cliff edge, quite literally. In fact, you might call this a bit of a cliffhanger. Whoa! Hello everybody and welcome back to Survival Challenge. So we're going to continue today in the brand new field. Obviously, if you've been watching this, you'll know that I've only done one half of it, but it's still a substantial area. Today, I'm going to try and draw out where the fields are going to be. Now, it's subject to change, and I'm going to save the game now so I can revert if I need to, because I'm probably going to mess up, because I'm basically going to just use the dirt tool to draw out the fields, and then from there we can, well, basically drill them. I think we'll just drill the shapes instead of doing anything else. But first, this area here, I'm fairly convinced, I've convinced myself that this is where a future farm is going to be. So I think it's probably best to leave this area as it is, have it untouched. But yeah, soon, when we need more, well, when we have the money to build more storage sheds, we'll put the storage shed up here, and that can be the very first building to start the farm. So just very quickly, that sort of area is going to be the farmyard. It's quite a big area. It's bigger than it looks, because it goes obviously in within the trees. And it leaves all of this, plus all of the other grass. Many people have said it's a good opportunity to buy sheep. It is a good opportunity to buy sheep because we do have a lot of grass. However, we don't have the money to buy the sheep or the enclosure. So I think if we can sell the wheat as soon as possible, which we have in the trailer, and the silage, then yes, we can get the sheep, and then we can use the grass from the other side of the field on them. So, of course, some of it will also be hay for the cows. Anyway, let me continue trying to mark things out. It is just very rough. I might even just delete all of this, but we'll see. So yeah, dirt again. This would probably lead from a track, wouldn't it? So I think probably having a track running down from here is quite a logical thing to do. Obviously, we don't want to be driving actually within the trees. Okay, I can neaten this up later, and that would bring us into the yard just there. So yeah, from there, let me just put this tool to the smallest size again. I think we wouldn't just go straight into a field necessarily. So probably have some kind of production there. Sorry if I'm bumbling. And then, yeah, from there, we can have a field. So I think probably have a field running down here. And actually, probably about there is fine. That will be sufficient. So we have a grass strip to about there. I know it looks very, very rough and probably hard to picture. But eventually, as you'll see in the future, this will all come together and it should look quite neat and tidy. At least that is the plan. It is hard to ignore the diagonal, because obviously there's going to be no diagonal eventually. So that is my starting point. So I reckon drill this area here as soon as possible. Actually, yeah, if we just put the entire yard as dirt, that would probably make it easier to see and understand. So just do that to there. Yeah, I didn't mean to put dirt here. Okay. I'm now going to continue in a time lapse, just figuring it out and seeing what I can make. Okay, so that's taken up pretty much all of the bottom corner of the heavy silty clay, which means the majority of that field is actually in the loam, which is good. I believe loam is a good soil type for us to be growing in. So that is really nice. We are now left with this sort of situation where I don't know where to end the field. Because it's all going to be very different, this, and it's still confusing to me what it's going to look like, but I do have a vague idea in my head. It would take a number of episodes to actually come together though. But I think this bottom section is looking quite good. So I just tied things up a bit here, and then we can get the drill, and I'm going to put grass in on the right hand side because it's very, very steep. I just think grass is probably best here, and the left hand side is going to be any other crop, a combinable crop. Just make this track nice and neat. There we go, that's perfect. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the track across the top there and then come down probably level with where we are now. It'll become clear in a minute, to meet up with this track here, which will obviously then continue and go to somewhere else further down. I also think that probably the best place to have the sheep is either down there or over there. Probably over there, because this track is going to link the new yard with what would be the sheep farm. Okay, so there we go, that's what I was just talking about. So probably that area there as one field, another one here. I don't really want to have it like a grid. I know it's looking that way, so I might divide that in the future, and a track needs to come through here. Okay, right, so much tweaking is going to have to be done in the future, but for now we just have to get on top of things. So I'll get the drill, I will drill the piece of this field which is drillable, and the one over there, and then we really need to get cracking with the mowing of the rest of the field, so that we can then subsoil it, analyse the soil type, and then really just expand and finish that entire plot. But it's going to be a big job. And of course, when I said wheat earlier, I meant canola. The price for the canola should really be going up. November is the best time for that. So I think we'll probably rest later once I have drilled it, because then it will come into colour and we'll be able to really see the different areas very nicely. Should be quite vivid. Yes, and of course we'll be a step closer to November for selling. So how are we doing for seed? Not that well, but I do have quite a lot of seed over there, so that's fine. Okay, so here we are at the new field. We've got loads of seed. I've just refilled them both, so there's no problems there. And yes, of course, the main goal behind this is not only to put the seed in, but also just to make it so clear where the new fields are, basically. I don't want that to drill. It's going to drill, although it doesn't actually matter because it's going to be ploughed up again. That area just there. I should probably go around the headland. Anyway, yes, that is all working. That is good. So I'll do this and then we'll do the grass field. It's very interesting watching the variable seed rate, clearly reflecting the soil type. When we get onto that really heavy silty clay, it goes to red, and it's about 420 seeds per metre squared, which is fairly horrific. You can see the loam that we're on now is brilliant. Only 180. It's a green. So yeah, I think I have done the best thing here. The heavy land is going to be built on, and then we get the good land, the loam, which is going to be farmed. So there we go, we're just encroaching into the clay, 420 seeds per metre squared. Although, to be honest, it looks really bad, but the consumption hasn't really changed too much. But then there are other factors, like the amount of nitrogen that it requires and the amount of lime. But yeah, overall, very happy with this plot. It was a surprise though, very different to what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be the green soil type, which I always get back to front with the yellow soil type. Is it loamy sand? It won't be, it'll be the opposite. Indeed, the sandy loam. Yeah, I was expecting pretty much all of this plot to be this green, because it just looked like it was going to be so consistent, but actually, before we were right on the border. In fact, to be honest, it is surprising that we didn't just about see some grey coming through when we did this field. Unbelievable. Okay, so lift those up. Now for grass, so we'll choose the grass crop type. Need to make sure they're both on grass. Well, one of them is. I have a feeling one of them isn't, though. There we go. Good. So now this plot can be done. But yeah, as I said before, I'm not going to make it like a grid. I know at the moment it's looking like it's going to be very straight lines everywhere. But this is as far as that goes. This was just for the initial area, mostly to get rid of the diagonal. And yeah, I think the top area over there is going to have quite a few productions on it eventually. But obviously, yeah, it's going to be a long time from now. We are nowhere near being able to afford productions. From now on, this is going to be our main and probably only grass field. We'll have one more cut off that one over there, and then it's going to turn into, well, the rest of the field. We'll just expand the arable field further up until we get to the sandy loam. At that point, it'll actually turn back into a forest. We are going to be growing some more trees. It will be agroforestry, I think, so I will have something in between, but probably not grass. Initially I did say grass, but yeah, it would be awkward, I think, mowing and tedding and all that sort of stuff within the trees. This nice open field is perfect for that. Right, so here is our seed rate. You can see that clay is no good and loamy sand is no good. The two worst. Loam is definitely the best. We actually have a green, low seed rate and standard for the sandy loam. So that is good. This will be trees, this will be yard, so we are actually going to be farming the best soils, which is really good. It's turned out really well. And there we go, that's the colours for the different crop types. So eventually this piece here will be green as well, hopefully today. And yeah, you can see we do have some fairly natural looking fields really. This area here will be dealt with in the future. In fact, let me know. What shall we do over there? Should we have rectangular fields, very unique shaped fields? And what crops would you like to see over there? And also, how many fields? How many shall we fit into that area? I'm thinking probably 2, and then have a production area. I'll just park this tractor in here. I would take it back, but we are going to be using it in just a few minutes. So there we go. My plan is just to mow this area which we're currently working in, because then we can row it up, bale it, subsoil it, and then we can finish the drilling in a few minutes time. Here's the mower. So yeah, so much to do. In fact, there is so much to do that I haven't even touched our original fields here for quite some time. This one needs to be harvested and the one over there needs to be drilled. but I just want to get this sorted first. I think once we've got crops growing over here, everything can slow down a bit. It'll be much more relaxing, and everything will just become easier. Because this is all a bit up in the air currently. I will mow all of that, but probably not today. I think that'll be a good job for the next episode. As I said, if we can just do it in stages, that'll be the most manageable way of doing it. And yeah, we'll keep this as grass, so this can be the grass for any potential future sheep. Okay, so obviously we are progressing nicely. We can probably get another bale out of this area here. And then subsoil. Right, so that's 3 in this area. I think I've probably got 3 from over there. So we're doing alright. And then we'll leave this last piece in the baler for when we do the rest of it. Because I don't think we have enough grass here for another bale to pop out. It's coming together though, already looking much different to the beginning of the episode. Right, and now for the subsoiler. Right, the subsoiler is on the back. We're going to have to move these bales individually, just to the side, because as you can see it's super heavy. And I don't think the Isaria Scout really has much weight to it. Not really designed as a counterbalance. Although if we didn't have it on, I don't think we'd have even moved that. It would have been right up in the air. Can't wait to see these fields once they've germinated, which will be the end of the episode. We can afford to move on. Also there's rain coming, so yeah, we don't want to be working in the rain if we can help it. Okay, there we go. A quick subsoil, and then a drill. Makes it look so fluffy. Really light land. I think really it should be ploughed, but yeah, as I've said, we can't really be ploughing it. It would take forever. And I know some people would possibly say, oh well, this is taking the easy option, but to be honest, although it is the easy option, I think the other option, which is to plough it, would actually make me fall asleep. Because we can't put a huge plough on this. The one which we had was the biggest it would take. And to be honest, I would say that a guess of 5 hours to plough this entire area is not unreasonable. I would say it would take about that in real time, which would be horrendously boring for you and horrendously boring for me. More so for me because I'd be able to time-lapse it for you, but it would just be one entire video of time-lapsing ploughing this area with no talking or anything. So yeah, this is for the best. And that is it. So let's go and park this down here as if we had the new shed, which actually might not be that far out of reach because we do have all of that silage and all of the canola, which is going to generate a lot of money. And of course we do have the hay, which is going to be coming off the other side of this field, but I probably won't be selling that, but we'll see. Anyway, let's go and rest and we'll see what these two fields look like in the morning. Already looking very colourful here. It's all coming together. Oh nice, we can see the combine out the window. Okay, are you ready? I've not seen it yet. It's going to be a total surprise for me as well. It should look quite natural, hopefully, as if it's always been there. I feel like bouncing. Yep, looking good. Oh, very nice. So we can go left or right. If we go down here, we'll eventually end up in the yard. And you can see we've got our wheat crop just over there. Oh, this is brilliant. I will fly up into the air in just a second. So I'm not going to elapse the time anymore now, because we have to obviously fertilise this field. Need to make sure everything is as productive as possible. But let's just take an aerial view. Wow, so different to before. To just the beginning of this episode, when I was drawing out those lines. We've come a long way, but yeah, still much more work to be done. I like that I've removed the diagonal, pretty much. So yeah, exactly how this is going to look here, I'm not too sure yet, but we'll figure it out. Very happy with the progress today. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.